Guys, we are live. Who is out there? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Who is out there? Say hello. My name is Joey. We're about to get started with this official interview on Knockeye channel. Let's just wait a little bit. Guys, we are live. Who is out? Lee Knight, Markzilla, what is up, guys? So today, something a little bit different. I'm actually gonna do a live therapy session with two of my friends, which I'll introduce to you right now. All right, guys, so let's just get started. We have 6 people on, 6 people viewing. Cool, cool, cool. Come on in, guys. We're about to get started, and I'm about to introduce these 2 special guests. Are you guys ready? What's up, Markzilla? What's up, guys? What's up? Fred, how are you? Okay, let's just go. All right, so here's the introduction. So Jasmine and Durron Myers, they're husband and wife, and they're a team dedicated to helping people solve energy, anger, and relationship challenges through spiritual, non-judgmental conversation. And that's what we're gonna have here. A conversation where we're just gonna go deep, we're just gonna talk things out, and it's gonna be a live therapy session. So without further ado, here is Dr. Jasmine Myers and Durron Myers. What's up, guys? How are you?
Hello.
Happy to have you guys on.
All right.
Happy to be on.
Yeah.
We talked earlier before, so we already kind of met, but that's cool. But can you share with us, where are you guys from and what do you guys do and what does this look like when you're working with people before we even start?
Mhm.
And we could just get started.
Yeah. Well, I'm Dr. Myers. We're in Arizona right now. And we started our business in Chicago, moved it to Mississippi, and now we're out west here in Arizona. And we work together as a team to help people solve daily and life challenges. So yeah, we're excited.
Nice. So you started in Chicago and then you moved a few cities and now you're in Arizona?
Yes.
What made you go there?
Well, we've been here it's almost like we've been kind of transplanted here. You know, it was like something just led us here.
Yeah.
And it was just wide open as far as energy wise. So since we've been here, we've been able to kind of connect to a whole bunch of different people that we normally wouldn't have connected to. So it's great. It's kind of bridging the gap for us.
Life kind of led us out west.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, going west. I feel like a lot of people right now are going west or south, especially, recently this year, especially for like COVID-19 and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And question, especially with the whole COVID and the Corona, are you guys getting a lot more requests in terms of like therapy and coaching where people feel a little bit disconnected from their relationships? Are you guys, how does that look like in your field right now?
Definitely. A lot of anxiety, a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear.
Because people are forced to stay at home with people that they normally may argue with, you know, so now.
Oh, that's true.
You know, so it's a lot of stresses involved,
Yeah.
but also you've been noticing a lot of relationships too that are kind of on the brink of breaking up, but then they get back together because they're able to spend quality time with each other. You know,
so that's the good thing. They get back together. So they're about to break up, but because of all of this, it forces them to work things out and come back together.
Right.
Is that what you're seeing?
Right, because they can focus on each other, you know. And we do a lot of things, pretty much the whole spectrum, because we're life coaches and course counselors as well. So with that, we just try to meet people where they are and try to help them throughout any stress.
Very cool, very cool. So so let's say you start a session with somebody. How do you normally start something? Like right now, how would we do a session right now? Whether it's coaching or therapy, right? It's both or.
So a lot of questions, you know, and that kind of pulls out what challenges you're facing.
Okay.
So yeah. So what is it that you're tolerating or putting up with in your life?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what? I think I tolerate a lot of things. I give a lot of people slack. You know, I tend to be very forgiving of when people do things to me. But when I make a mistake and they're not forgiving of me, I get really hurt. I'm like, oh my God, how could, maybe that's one example.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, if you want what you give out, you know, and most of the time you get that back. But if you don't get it back, then that's automatically going to trigger something in you, because that's against how you love, you know. So as far as your love language, if you're used to giving, you know, giving, understanding, and those kind of things, and if you're not getting that back, then it's going to feel like a direct offense against your character, against you, you know.
Against who you know yourself to be.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right. So when you start saying, you know what, it doesn't really matter if I get it back, I'm just going to continue to give it out, and then eventually it'll come back around.
One of the guys says, Joey, this could get personal. Yes, that is the point of this session.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
It's tough for guys to open up. So, you know, and I tell men all the time, the more we're able to talk about our feelings and things like that with our significant others, the less we have to do it, because that way they know what we're thinking.
Because they're not going to let it go.
Right, right.
True.
Yeah.
True, right? It's like, but do you find that people, especially males, why do you think they have trouble opening up? What's so hard about it? I mean, personally, I don't have trouble opening up, which is why I'm doing this stream, to hopefully inspire people to be a little bit more vulnerable, since I'm putting myself on the spot. But why do you think people struggle with opening up, especially males?
A lot of men, we're taught not to let people in our business, you know. So our friends kind of tell us, hey, man, you don't want everybody knowing your business and stuff like that. So so we're taught to kind of be more secluded, and I'm a man, I could do this, I could face these things myself, kind of thing. And we feel vulnerable, because let's be honest, like when you open up, you feel vulnerable, and a lot of people don't like to feel vulnerable.
True. Or they feel judged, or they feel like they might be attacked, or I mean, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Threatened. Yeah.
And then female girls are usually very open really quickly too, and even it could be overwhelming. From my experience, sometimes it could be overwhelming.
Yeah. Women, you know, we have a lot of estrogen.
Yeah.
So within that, you know, everything's just firing back and forth, left and right side of our brains. So within that, we're thinking about everything.
Yes.
And men, it's more linear.
Yeah, we're kind of like A to B. We're kind of more like, okay, this is what it is. Women think about all the different scenarios that could go wrong. What this could go wrong, that can go wrong, this can go wrong, or this could go good. You know, men, we just think about, okay, I hope this goes well for me. You know, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah, that's true. I do notice that even in conversations that I have, and I'm getting used to it with women, that they're kind of, they jump around all different places, but I think I'm always amazed of how they're able to manage chaos, of how they're able to manage so many things coming at them. They get a text message, you're talking to them on one ear, then they're driving. I mean, they're able to manage so much, and I actually like that. I think that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a positive thing, I guess.
What it is they tend to get overwhelmed with things, and that's the toughest thing, because it's hard for women to turn their minds off. You know, as far as, and we call that the monkey brain, when you have so many things going on in your mind. You know, so it's like you got a bunch of these things running on, but it's hard to focus on just that one thing. So that's a tough thing. So when they try to focus, it's hard to focus because so many things are going on.
So I have some questions here. So Fred says, how does it feel giving people therapy? Fred, what do you mean? Me, or it's probably to you guys, right? I think that question's for you.
I think it's an honor, in my opinion, to really be able to hear other people's stories, because that's a privilege. It really is. It takes a lot to open up and to be transparent with someone you don't know. So I really look at it as an honor and a privilege.
And my name in Hebrew is Freedom Bird. So I try to free people out of any mental cage that they're in, you know, so those things, I want them to fly, you know, because nobody wants to be stressed and heavy and feeling down about themselves, because we all are great. We just have to know it.
True. It reminds me of that one song. I texted my friend that one song, I'm like a bird, I want to fly away.
Yeah.
That was me last year, where I wanted to like just leave everything and fly away and stuff. But
well, you want to make yourself lighter from any heaviness, and that's all it is. And it sounds like that you go within. So when you go within, that's how you can solve problems, because that is getting to the why. Why am I feeling this way? You know, it's not like saying, well, you look outside where you can blame others for the way you're feeling. No, you look inside, so that way you can find out the why, so you can find out how to make yourself feel happy again.
True. It's very true.
Mhm.
There's when I went through this whole grieving moment, this was in the beginning of September.
Mhm.
I realized that something happened inside of me and I needed to figure it out. It was like an entanglement in your feelings. It's kind of like untangled. And until you untangle it, you don't move forward. Like you get stuck in this weird feeling. And I realized that journaling, like a lot of writing, really helped me untangle what I was feeling, and going back and answering all the questions of unanswered questions, stuff like that. But I thought, dang, I wish I would have had somebody to work this out with. I had to do it alone and stuff, because I didn't reach out to anybody. But yeah, I just wanted to share that.
Yeah.
That entanglement is really the way that our ego tries to protect us.
Ooh, the ego.
So it kind of binds us down and says, I'm going to protect you from this situation. So I don't want you to feel this anymore. So it keeps us from that actual feeling. So it's right. When you journal, you tell your ego, no, I want to be free. I want to fly. And that's your spirit. Your spirit wants to fly. Your spirit wants to be free. It's fun. It's enjoying. The ego's like, no, we got to be in this little box because I have to protect you. And it's like, no. By you journaling, you told the ego, no, I want to live more in spirit. I want to live free. So it just unravel for you. And it'll continue to grow. The more you look within, it'll continue to grow.
And a lot of people don't reach out when they're in those places out of that fear, because their ego says, no, we got to be safe. And we're safer if we do it on our own.
Especially in relationships, because guys don't reach out until the woman actually leaves. Now, she can threaten and say, well, I'm leaving. But when she actually leaves, that's when guys say, you know what, maybe I need to do something.
It's like a reality hits now.
Right.
So we have a question. What's the most difficult time you've had during therapy? Like, what have you struggled with helping the most?
It's hard working with children, because seeing trauma in very horrific situations in children, me as a therapist, I have to be aware of what things trigger me. And I know that's something that, is difficult for me. And I work with children, but I also know, like, I have to do my self-care because it can be very hard.
Like dealing with a lot of different people, stories, mainly children, you said?
Yeah, stories. I've seen a lot of children that have some horrific stories of abuse and, just traumatic situations, neglect. And it's hard to hear that because, it's a little life. It's a little new life.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I could just imagine what that feels like. It's like,
yeah.
You see them in their early stages, and here you are, the person that's supposed to work with them and help them develop or heal, I would say.
It starts off by just giving them love.
Yeah.
Because we all really want love. So when you're able to give someone love, then they tend to open up a little more to you, because now you're touching and pulling on the heartstrings, and they know that you're not trying to harm them. And that's the thing, people try to protect themselves because they don't want to be harmed or hurt anymore. And then especially kids, because they love unconditionally. So they'll continue to come back and want that love. So as soon as you add love to them, they feel like, okay, this person is not a threat, and I'm able to talk to them and open up.
Yeah.
And someone said kids must open up a lot more than adults. Do you think that's true? Do you find kids to be more vulnerable than adults in your experience?
Kids can open up, but a lot of times they don't have the skills to know how to open up. So you have to play with kids. So a lot of my therapy with kids is play. Because that's how they
interesting. And while they're playing, they'll probably just say something.
Right. Because that's when they feel the most comfortable. Just think about people when they want to be loosen up and open up and talk. They do a lot of talking, like say at restaurants, over dinner, things like that. Things where they feel real comfortable. So then people open up.
True. Very, very, very true.
Yeah.
So also, I want to touch on when you do healing, how does that work?
Also, so the energy healing, I do like say breath work, and then also do an exercise called qigong. And what I do is I'm able to connect to your energy field and create a flow. A lot of pain and stress that we hold in our bodies manifests physically in our bodies. So if you have a lot of pain or if we have a lot of fear is kind of held in your kidneys and things like that. So if you're feeling like kidney pain or dialysis, things like that, start releasing some of the fear in your body. So I help people release things they're kind of holding on to, whether it be fear or stress, unworthiness. It's a lot of things that attack our organs mentally because our mind controls our bodies.
It starts with a thought.
It does.
And that's one thing that a lot of us don't understand is that when things physically manifest in our bodies, it starts with thinking patterns that we adopt over time.
Yeah, and our bodies can physically heal itself. It's through that thought. So what I do with the energy healing, I kickstart that with my energy. So I'm able to attach their energy to create that flow. And then when it takes that pain away, they're like, man, where did my pain go? So I tell them, this is what you want to do to keep that pain away. It's all of the negative things that you've taken on, the thought process, how you feel about yourself. All of these things manifest themselves negatively in your body. So you want to create that flow. So that's what I do is I create that flow.
Cool. Should we do one right now?
We can. Do you have any pains or ailments or aches or anything like that?
Like physical body pain?
Yeah, because that's what I do. I take away physical body pain. Do you feel any tension?
Just mainly behind my neck here. I think maybe it's stress, but
Yeah. So let's work on that.
Sometimes in the morning it tenses up, and I realized, I don't know, maybe that.
All right. So it'll take me a couple seconds, right? And I'm just gonna work on it.
All right, let's do it.
All right, now I want you to take a deep breath for me. Breathe out. Again, breathe in. Breathe out. One more time. In. Out. All right, now I want you to give your neck a turn and see how your shoulders feel. How do they feel?
Feels good.
And what's funny is I did it when I first told you, as far as silence wise, when I told you to breathe, I had already done it. It was already finished. I was just finishing the process.
When you close your eyes, instantly I felt this energy come into this space, into my space here. And then when you told me to breathe, I literally felt like I disconnected from the live, and it's kind of like a mirror. Like my live you could see yourself on the live, but I came into my head space. It was weird.
Yes, and I've been doing that for years, and I'm able to. I do it for people in Germany. I mean, I do it all over so people contact me to do it, and the more I connect with people, the lighter they get. So today you're gonna feel light. You're going to feel free. Your shoulders are going to feel. So what you do is don't worry about anything stressful, because that adds stress onto your shoulders. Because when you have stress in your shoulders, it's like you're carrying the weight of the world on. So you just keep it light. Just keep it light. Anybody adds in negativity, you dodge it like the man. Dust your shoulders off.
Wow. I feel much better. Yeah. I mean, just this whole day, this whole week's been kind of crazy and stuff, but I see what you mean. Just, choose not to be stressed out. Choose not to be.
Right.
It's a choice.
To remove that off.
It's a choice.
And some people says it worked for me too.
Yeah, it does. If they're able to see me, or if they're able to hear the voice, it works just like that. Because energy is like a wave. So if you tuned on to that wave pattern, so it's just like us listening to the same radio station.
Yeah.
If you tune into that same radio station, you'll get that same wave, and then you'll get that feeling.
Interesting. Lee Knight says, do you know you can communicate to dead people because my grandma is dead and I really want to talk to her? What's your view on that?
That's more like as my wife. She can channel, so she can definitely speak to whoever.
Oh my God. Okay, let's just, since we're in this topic, I don't know how much time you guys have. I think, are you guys okay on time? Just let me know.
Yeah, we're fine.
Okay.
So we're in this topic. Last night, one of my friends passed away about 3 weeks ago in a car accident.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of my good friends, and he was driving to Las Vegas with his other friend, and they just like, they flipped on the highway, and he passed away. But last night I had a dream where he was talking to me in his dream, and he was trying to tell me something, and I remember in my dream what he told me, but now that I'm awake, I don't remember what he said. But do you guys think that he's trying to communicate to me through my dream? Is he trying to tell me something?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Because see, consciousness never dies.
Mm-hmm.
The physical body can die. But the consciousness never dies. So what that does is he can connect and see your energy. Energy is everywhere. So he can connect and see that, and he can communicate with it. But you just have to be on that same wavelength. The reason why he's able to communicate with you while you're asleep is because you're in that state of basically you're astral projecting when you're dreaming. So you can actually communicate and talk to him in that dream state. And the reason why you can't remember when you wake up is the same thing like the veil. So we don't remember all those things that when we're born. So when you wake up, you're back in this heavy, dense reality, and it knocks out some of your memory.
I wonder what he's trying to say, though. Interesting. But that just, yeah.
So we recommend that before you go to bed to make sure your phone isn't in the room, there's no TV, no electronics on, and, have your glass of water, really relax yourself before you go to bed.
Mm-hmm. And if you feel any tension in your head or in the middle of your forehead, anything like that, then that means that something's trying to communicate with you. So what you do is just close your eyes, lay back, take a deep breath, and think about nothing. Think about nothing. Just continue to think about nothing, and then that still voice will come in, and you'll get that message. A long time ago, they've been teaching, well, this is bad, and you shouldn't talk to spirits and all this stuff. And it was just like, man, they had no idea what they were telling people not to do. Because if you're able to communicate with people that have passed on or have done, gone to the other side, then you don't have to carry all the pain and guilt and shame.
That's true.
Because a lot of people, they carry through their whole life, and somebody's been gone for years, and they carry that pain, and it stops them from living their lives.
So, Jasmine, you are the one, you do the communication?
Yeah.
Is that your gift or your strength?
Yeah, I would consider it a gift.
Yeah.
The way that you kind of can connect to that, because I believe we all can. We just do so in different ways. Some people see things, they physically see it and have visions. Other people hear things. Other people just know, like they have a knowing that comes through. And that's kind of how I hear things, is through my knowing. So if anybody out there is trying to connect to that, you really have to meditate, quiet your mind, and just follow that next thought or that next thing you're seeing in your mind's eye, that next thing that just comes to mind. And that's how you can hear energetically things around you.
Interesting. That's wow.
So we use a lot of different elements, a lot of different things as far as to connect with people. So whatever the spectrum is, that's exactly how we want to meet them. We want to meet you where you are. So if you're having issues with grief, or if you're having issues as far as relationship, whatever it is, we want to try to meet you where it is and try to understand certain things. Because if a loved one wants to get through the evening session, they'll want to come through.
Well, and you'll notice, like, maybe things will be moved around the house, or you'll find something that you're like, where'd this come from? Did this person leave this here for me? That's them communicating to you.
Okay, since we're in that topic, and since this channel is about Woody coming alive, gotta talk about it.
Yeah.
Everyone who's on here, guys, you're gonna finally know if it's true. Do you think energy can inhabit a doll or can inhabit a toy?
Yeah.
It is,
What do you think about that? I know there's movies about that and stuff, but what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, and energy, because you think about it, energy as
Mm-hmm.
far as it's always transferring, always transferring. So if there's anything that energy can connect to, it can connect to.
Oh, tell them about our conflicts with the dogs in the house.
Yeah,
Since you're talking about dogs.
yeah. You started off, and
So we have a couple that, they've been arguing, quarantine, corona, they've been fighting, arguing in the house. The kids are hiding in the bedroom. So they came into counseling because it's too much. They want to stop arguing. But what they started to notice was, the daughter, oh, my doll is moving.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw a little girl in the mirror. All these things are starting to happen now around the house. So the energy, the more they're arguing, the more they're bringing into that energy, and it's creating things in the house.
Right. So because at first it starts off with that thought form, and then now the energy is just kind of filling up the house because you're pulling it in. The more, because of the law of attraction, the more we pull into ourselves, we're attracting those things.
So then in that case, if something tragic happens in a space, it usually becomes haunted, right? That's usually why things become haunted.
It will hold that energy.
Because of the tragedy in that space.
Right. So then that's why you have people come in, like say, do smudging, and then because I do smudging as well, I come in and bless the house or whatever, so you get that energy out. So I use that energy, that positive energy, to get the negative energy out. So they help dissipate it. And what it does, it just goes up, it just goes out. So you get it out of there. I'm not sure where it may go, but
Yeah.
it gets out of that area,
At least in that space, yeah.
Right.
Very cool.
Keep my energy up high so it doesn't attach to me, so nothing negative attaches to us.
Right.
Very, very cool. That's awesome. I literally was going to ask you guys something. It just flew out of my head.
Yeah.
But let's see. Any questions here on the comments? Yes, bad things happen in my house. Feels like some demon is here.
Okay, all right. So if it does feel like say negative or demons in there, what you do is you have to add light to it. So the more fear you add to it, the more darkness you add to it, the more negativity, and that just grows. It feeds off of that. Yeah, it feeds off of that. What you do is you add love and light to it because it doesn't want love and light. That's why it's in the darkness.
Get you some sage.
Burn that sage, and you walk around and you laugh and you smile and you enjoy yourself and have fun and say, "Get out,"
Right.
because I'm here and I'm having fun.
And angelically, there's support out there.
Right.
So call on Michael.
Michael is the one. If you have any kind of demonic stuff in your house, you want to call on the angel Michael.
Or if your dolls are possessed, anything.
Angel Michael.
Woody.
Yeah, there you go. Because in that it's negative energy and it's good energy too, right? So what about the good things that happen in our lives around the house, or stuff that we find, like we find $100 bill in the house just right? We don't get nervous about that. We say, all right. We don't get all nervous and scared. But see, if you find something negative, then you get nervous and scared, you feed that. But when you find something positive, you get happy, you feed that. So it's continue to feed that positive other than feed the negative if you have negative stuff going on in your house.
True. Because that's been happening. So Markzilla been happening for 8 years. I guess it's been going on in his household for a while, probably.
Yeah. Grab you some sage. Get you some sage, walk around there laughing and enjoy yourself.
That's right.
There you go, guys.
Well, you have sovereignty.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing can come in and interfere with you unless you allow it. So proclaim it. That this has no power here.
There you
True.
go.
What we say, I truly believe that what we say is it's really important. How we, it's kind of like you direct your path with your words, right? Yeah. I've been doing that these past few days, and I've been deciding this is what's going to happen. This is how I'm going to feel. This is how my day is going to go. And you just decide it, and it happens. It's like a magic trick, And
you put the smile in it, put the happiness in it too. So when you do that, this is what I want to feel, and this is how I'm going to feel. And because you dictate that. You dictate that.
True. And I notice when you talk to people respond to how you feel, how your words feel versus to what you're actually saying. You know what I mean?
Right. Because of that vibration. Because you could say the same word and make them feel happy, make them feel sad, make them feel threatened. All that, it's all in how that vibration pattern of that word is coming out of your mouth.
True. It's like you could tell someone you're amazing, but you can tell them like you're amazing. That doesn't mean you're amazing. That means something else, right?
Yeah.
Right. You can tell somebody like, well, you're amazing. Like, and they're thinking like, wait a minute, that's the opposite of amazing, right? You know,
Or if your significant other tells you they love you, but they say it like, I love you, or I love you. And maybe they're lying, or I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Those are the cues, right? The cues.
Yeah.
But guys, if you guys have any issues, anything you guys want to figure out, please reach out to them. There's going to be links in the description below. It's tough times right now, COVID, Corona, this whole situation all over the world. But please, you're not alone. Reach out to you guys, right? You guys have, how can people reach you guys?
Yeah. So our website is myerslifecoachingllc.com. And
Okay.
then we're on YouTube at Myers Life Coaching and Facebook and Instagram at Myers Life Coach.
So if you need anything, please give us a call, text, email, whatever it is. And we work all times of the day too. So our hours are flexible.
And how does it work? They schedule like a private Zoom or something, and then they do a session, like a 15-hour session?
No, we normally do an hour session, and we see all our clients an hour a week. So it just all depends on what they may need, what kind of time frame are they, that they're thinking about. Because this biggest thing is for you. We want you to be able to identify certain things in your life so that way you can improve and start growing. Okay,
Nice.
that's what we want.
And do you guys do the session together or one-on-one, or it depends on how people want to choose their?
Depends, like say,
That's what they want.
right. So if they want energy healing, or if they want, like say, a session with counseling, she does all the counseling part of it. And then me, energy healing, we do that together. Relationships, of course, we do it together because that way you have a male and female perspective on it. Because men and women think a little differently, you know. So that way I'm able to kind of bridge the gap with the women. She's able to bridge the gap for the men. And then, to kind of help communicate. Because a lot of times the men won't listen to the woman that they're arguing with, but they will listen to, So.
Yeah. You guys are awesome. You guys have an awesome balance with the spiritual and the counseling aspect. I think people need that. They need the spiritual side too, because we are souls, we are human beings. And a lot of our issues are actually, it's our soul, it's our energy. But then our brain is like the counseling part. We got to figure the thoughts out. We got to figure out the patterns and stuff. Mm-hmm. So that's awesome. Thank you guys for coming on.
Yeah.
Say that again.
It's a healthy balance. So once you get that balance, then you flow.
There you go, guys. Flow. Everything we do, we can flow and fly like an eagle, right? Do they just flap their wings?
Well, I'm a shaman also, so my shaman name is White Eagle. So
what? Nice. There you go. You fly, you flow. You're a very flowing type of person. That's cool. Mm-hmm. So any final words? Anything you guys want to say before we get going?
I want to say thank you to your audience and thank you as well. Yeah, and if y'all ever need anything, give us a call, definitely.
Yeah, guys, thank you guys so much. This was really awesome. Guys, leave a comment below. Go check them out. All right, guys, this stream is officially